Hey y'all, it's Cindy Cobb with Around the Town in the South, and I am sitting with two of my friends, Brad Harbour and Bruce Bartley. I think I've known y'all about the same amount of years. I think I met y'all in either 2009, 2010, and we become friends. I follow them on Facebook. I support everything that they do in our Madison County community, no matter what it is, and sometimes they advise me on things that I have questions about. And one of them, of course, is how to protect myself while I'm traveling. A couple of weeks ago, I was going to be traveling to South Carolina, and I have a gun. And now, mind you, I have not shot this particular gun at the time, ever, and I haven't shot in years and years. So I contact Bruce, and I said, okay, Bruce, I'm going to be traveling with my gun state to state. What do I do? And he said, you can't do that. There are certain things you can do and you can't do. And he said, Cindy, you really need to come have this enhanced carry class with Brad and I and learn how to shoot and, you know, basically the safety of the gun and everything. And I said, you know what, you're really right about that. I really need to. So they own Action Firearms Training, and they've been doing this for how many years?
7.
First off, thank y'all for joining me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for doing this for us. We enjoy being on here.
Well, after the advice of Bruce, I contacted Brad too, and I said I want to take the class. And I can't even, there's no way you can understand the magnitude of the importance, especially as a lady, to learn how to handle the gun and shoot the gun and actually be able to protect yourself if needed. So we're going to talk about the class and a few more things after that, but I signed up for the enhanced carry class, and we had 4 ladies out there. It was a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night. We had our classroom first, the 4 hours, and then the shooting class the next night. I want to know how y'all got involved in this. I know y'all both been in some sort of law enforcement all of your life or some kind of aspect like that. How long have y'all been doing this, and how did you get into doing it?
Well, I've been an NRA instructor when I was with the Sheriff's Department here in Madison County for the last 24 years. And that's where I started. And then when they have the state of Mississippi has a carry permit, and then they came up with the enhanced permit, which takes away the off-limit places that you can't carry with just a regular permit. And they wanted instructors, and I applied with the rest of the instructors, and the Highway Patrol got my certification, went through an interview, and they deemed me an instructor for the enhanced certification. And that's where our ladies, we started doing the enhanced certification, and I noticed that there was a need to do just a ladies only class. And that's what you took, was our ladies only class, because a lot of times if your significant other or someone else takes you out and tries to teach you how to shoot, especially a family member, you end up getting mad or you get in an argument, and then, you know, you just don't learn anything. Where one of us as an instructor can tell you the exact same thing, and you take it as constructive criticism and you learn. Plus, a man will go out and buy a lady a .38 revolver, put 5 rounds in it, hand it to her and say, this is a dummy gun. All you gotta do is pull it out and shoot if you need it. Well, as you saw, it's not that easy to shoot that .38 revolver. No. The trigger pull is heavy. They don't have very good sights. They're an up-close personal gun. And so our ladies class, we provide everything. The guns, the ammo, everything.
The targets.
The targets, everything except the eyes and ears. We want you to bring your own eyes and ears. But it's so you shoot a bunch of different guns and go through and learn how to use the guns to figure out what's good for you, what's not good for you. Because a gun for a lady is just like a purse or shoes. What works for one's not going to work for the other. Exactly. Or you're not going to like. We have ladies that come through that love the revolver. We have ladies that come through that can't stand it and want a semi-automatic.
Gotcha. We
had one lady come through kicking and screaming. Her husband brought her and she didn't want to come. Kicking and screaming. And when she got through shooting, he had to go buy a new gun because she took his gun and she liked it so much.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's just a... And it's a great hobby. It's great to do as a family. And if you're going to carry a gun, you need to be efficient with it and be able to use it and know how to fix it if something's wrong with it.
Well, I know some of my questions for Bruce, and he's like, I mean, this went on for 3 or 4 days, and that's when he finally said, okay, you really need to take the class. You really need to sign up, take the class. It's going to take you a little while to get your license, because I applied for my Mississippi license. And he said, so by the time you get your license, you'll have your your enhanced carry certificate too, and that way you're ready. And so through that conversation, I learned a lot from him. So explain to us, you know, especially as a woman, I think I could just get into my car, put whatever I want to in it, and head down the road. It's not that simple when it comes to the law.
Right. Well, it's like I was explaining to you when you were taking a trip to South Carolina. States have their own laws. We have a law. We have an enhanced carry permit. Now, the laws that apply to the enhanced carry permit do not apply outside the boundaries of Mississippi. Now, our concealed carry permit can allow you to carry in another state, which is called reciprocity. Now, in South Carolina, for example, they do not have reciprocity with our enhanced carry permit, but they do, with our concealed carry permit, but they have with our enhanced carry permit, because you have to take a class. Mississippi is a right to carry state. And one of the problems you might have with someone thinking, oh, I can carry in Mississippi, you go to another state. Well, do you know the laws in that state? Do you know what shall notify means? Do you know, for example, that if you do not have a concealed carry permit with reciprocity in another state, they can hook you up and take you to jail if they find out you're carrying a concealed weapon.
And let me just say, when he said that, all I could think about me being in orange. I do not look good in orange, so I definitely wanted to take the class. At the time we were talking, I'm thinking, I'm just going to shoot the gun, take the class, and get this over with. I learned so much from these guys. First off, the first night we had the homework book training, I would say, and it was great. They go, you know, from start to finish, you're going to know exactly what to do. And at the last part of the class on the Tuesday night, we got to learn the stance, where to stand, how to stand, because if you got to stand correctly to be able to handle that gun, and I would never have known that. Seriously, if I would have just been shooting, and without that, there's no telling what I would have hit. So every part of what you've done to develop this course, it is very important, especially for people like me.
Well, it's just like anything else. It's just like school. You don't go straight to the 12th grade. You have to start off in kindergarten and work your way up. It's like building a house. You have to have a good foundation, and you saw, we teach the foundation first, and then when the ladies get their gun in the hand and they start practicing the grip, they go back to their old stance, or they're leaning back. You know, it's repetition and building on each thing to make everything work right.
And right down to where you place your thumbs on the gun. I mean, who would ever have thought, I wouldn't have, I'm just going to be honest with you, where to put your thumbs on the different guns. It's not all the same either. And the reason why I asked them after the class, I said, I want to do a vlog on this, because I see the importance of, number one, being able to protect myself, being able to travel with this firearm wherever I go, and then how to actually use it. And the class was fun. We had 4 ladies, 3 amazing ladies. We've become friends, and just watching each other interact, it's a fun way to learn, yet very professional and serious. Because, you know, I talk with my hands, and part of that, like you know, holding the gun, you put the gun down, and I would have the gun up, and I would, you know, point up, and Brad would go, okay, Cindy, put the gun down. These are things like me, who's, you know, I don't really think about that on my own. And as you're good doing the class, like he said, the sweet correctness, I'm going to call.
There you go. There you go.
You know, and I did, and I'll tell you my experience with shooting in just a few minutes. So, Bruce, what is the most important part of the whole class? If there's anything I should have walked away with, what do you think that would be?
Probably not understanding what you don't know. Understanding the laws that you don't know, which is very important. And you need to understand what guns you don't like. And once you understand that part, we can find the gun that works for you. And you need to understand what you don't know about how to handle the firearm. Anywhere from your stance to your grip to sight alignment to trigger manipulation, target acquisition. You need to have all those things. You know, your stance is no different than a golf stance or shooting a free throw. Golf stance, if you don't have a right stance, you can swing that club and you're just going to spin it down. You're going to lose your balance. Same thing with shooting a gun. If you're not in a balanced situation, when that gun explodes, because it is an explosion in front of your face, you're going to have movement. And if you're leaning back on your toes, you can, go back. If you're in a situation where you have to defend yourself, you need to be balanced, because it all comes down to you. And for women, I think all women should be armed, for the fact that you can't always count on a male being with you. And on top of it, what happens if the male goes down? What happens then? You're going to have to be the one to protect them. What if they get shot, they go down, you need to pick that gun up, and you're going to protect both of you, so you can both get home.
Well, and we teach that too. Coming from a law enforcement background, where I had a partner I worked with when I worked drug interdiction on the interstate, we knew what each other was thinking. So, and we teach that when husbands and wives, or men and women, significant others, come through the class, we teach them to go through scenarios in their head. If something happens to your husband, what are you going to do? He needs to know what you're going to do. If something happens to you, you need to know what he's going to do. Mm-hmm. And also, we like the main part of our class, not only safety and learning how to shoot, is avoiding a situation altogether. That is the main thing. We don't want anybody to have to shoot and hurt somebody or kill somebody. We would rather you avoid it and be safe. Mm-hmm. And notice who's watching you. That's our biggest thing. Who's watching you? If there's somebody that's watching you, there's a reason they're watching you. They're sizing you up, and you didn't understand it, but we use the RBF. People can look up RBF.
That was very funny.
But you've got to have that stern face of, I see you and don't mess with me.
Let me just say, it's not very often I have the RBF face. I have been practicing. My girls are going to be so happy. I can have it if I need to. I'm all about fun and living life, but I also understand the seriousness of things and around us, what's going on around our world that we don't really think will happen to us or happen to anything that we love. And that was the whole point of me taking this class and being efficient with this gun. And also just runs. I was in 2 places today. I got out of my car, put my phone in my purse, believe it or not, and I was looking around to check and see, because, you just never know. And I want to be prepared, not just for me, but for people around me. So tell us a little bit about the class. How often do you have the class? How much the class is? And let me say, ladies, we're going to host a ladies-only class. I think I'm going to take 5 or 6 women. That's it. It's going to be a prepaid class. I want to do it because when I did the class and I posted on social media, I had at least 8 or 9 inbox messages or text messages from women saying, I wish I had known, I would have taken it with you. And so I want to be out there with you when you take it. So we're going to put that together. We'll be posting something like that. Maybe in the next couple of months we'll do that. So tell us a little bit about your schedule and what goes on.
We set up classes once a month. It just depends on participation, but we usually do an enhancement class once a month, which is male or female. We don't mind if children come, as long as they sign a waiver. We've done as young as 12 and as old as 76.
Oh, wow.
A lady, 76, and she was one of those that liked the revolver and didn't like the semi-automatic, and shot the revolver well.
Wow.
But our enhancement class is $120. Our ladies class is a little bit more expensive. It's a smaller class, but we provide everything, the ammo, the guns. It's $200, and that's the reason we charge that, to pay for the ammo. And then we have a defensive pistol class that we're starting up next month. We've taught several times. It's $50 for one night, and it teaches you reloads and moving and shooting and enhancement on your skills that you've already developed. So
what are the
you
classes?
can go to Facebook, Action Firearms Training on Facebook. We post the classes on there every month, and you can click on it and sign up. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's all right. So I lost my train of thought, believe it or not.
Okay, the classes. So
yeah.
So we do Tuesday night. That's our classroom. Wednesday night is our practical or our shooting class. So what we will do is we will meet at the community center at the Natchez Trace Park, which is over by Cock of the Walk. That's where people vote. That will be the classroom part. Starts at 6 o'clock. And then the next night we meet at Livingston, which is down 463, intersects with Highway 22. We will meet there, and then you will follow us down to Kearney Park Farms, and that's where we do our training. And then you've got, you know, sometimes 3 or 4 instructors, depends on the night. You know, Brad Harbour's started the SWAT team, Madison County Sheriff's Office.
Wow.
I'm a competition shooter. We're both NRA instructors. Justin Myers, he is a competition shooter as well as like me, and he is an NRA instructor. And the other gentleman,
Eddie Addison.
Eddie Addison, he's with the Ridgeland PD, and he's a firearms trainer as well.
Well, I'll just say I was very impressed from the time I walked in the door to the time I got into my car and left. And you don't know what to expect when you get there. Like I said, for me and most women, and I'm going to categorize you, you don't really realize the importance of the safety and the seriousness of being a gun owner and traveling with the gun, being prepared for the gun, and from start to finish, you're going to get that. I was very impressed with the whole night. Both nights actually, but especially when we shot. My experience was I haven't shot a gun in years. I think I told the story when I was about 12 years old. I wanted to go deer hunting with my dad. It was a guy thing at the time, and I was worrying the crap out of him. Can y'all believe that? To go with him, and he didn't want any women, so he was going to teach me a lesson. He got me on the levee out in Belzona, Mississippi, behind my grandmother's home, and he said, "If you can shoot the gun, you can go." Well, by cracky, I was going to shoot that gun, and when I pulled the gun up, my mother could not get out the door fast enough to yell my name. I was already on the ground. So needless to say, that was not a very good experience for me, but I saw the power of a gun at that time. And so having this class, when I got to the class and got to shoot, no one wants to handle a gun, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to shoot anybody, they want to know how. But, they teach you how to hold everything, it's not a scope, it's a sights. We can play charades. Get your sights right, exactly what you want on each gun that you do, and shoot. And throughout it, there is a little fear. And the best thing about these two guys with you is they walk you through that fear. I put the gun down, and what's the first thing you said? We're not going to
quit, and we're not going to say I can't.
Yes. And so I put the gun down because I was just thinking, okay, I'm just not sure about this, and he walked me through that fear, both of them, with what they said, get back up here, you're going to do it, and that's the kind of training I need, is that encouragement and to walk through that fear. So when I left there, I know now that I can handle a firearm if needed. I can travel anywhere I want to, and I'll go look at their laws too, but I have the enhanced carry class. So you had said something, Bruce, that made a lot of sense to me. Either you or Brad, I can't remember. Mississippi, we don't have to have a permit anymore. And so people just think, so go ahead and tell me, remember we talked about that, and people just think that there's no need in it.
Right, we touched on it earlier. It's, you think you don't need a permit until just because it's a right to carry state, there are places that you cannot carry. And your enhanced carry permit will eliminate some places. There's a few that you still can't, but when you travel out of state, you are subject to the laws of that state.
Correct.
And you need to know those laws, or you can get yourself in a lot of trouble.
Well, I am so excited that they've met with me today, and they're talking about this, because it's something that we need, especially everyone, I think, needs a gun class that's going to be shooting. But especially ladies. Is there anything else that we've left out that we might want to talk about?
No, it's just, we do advocate, if you're going to carry a gun, if you fail at training, you train to fail. That's a big thing. You've got to train, you've got to do it. Just picking up a gun and shooting once every year, or when you go to deer camp or anything like that, is not good enough. Whether it's shooting or if you're just dry firing in the house somewhere, as long as you do it safely. And that's the whole thing we talk about in the class. But if you're going to carry a gun, you need to have some type of class and some type of training. Just saying, oh, I'm a man, I've had a gun all my life, and I've been shooting all my life. Well, yeah, you may be, but you probably got some bad habits. Because a lot of times we see the ones that say, I've been doing this all my life, are the ones that usually have the bad habits, and the women outshoot them, and then they get mad.
And I'll say this, most of the women that were shooting already had guns, and by the end of the class, we were changing our guns out. We were getting the gun that best suited us, so you were right with what you said earlier. And the first thing out of Brad's mouth and Bruce, but Brad said it is, when you go get your new gun, I'll be glad to meet you wherever you go. And that says a lot about an instructor to help us feel comfortable, because we don't remember the names of the guns. I mean, we're ladies. We know our name of our shoes and our purses, but not our guns. So I'll be going to Golden Gun. Jackie, my friend, owns it there in Ridgeland, Mississippi. I'll be going there to get my gun. I'll probably have you meet me to make sure, because I want to get the right thing to carry and to shoot. So y'all, I am so excited that y'all have done this with me and that y'all trained me. I really appreciate what you do in our community.
You gonna show everybody your target?
I am going to show everybody our target. Listen, y'all going to be impressed, because like I said, it's been years since I shot. I think maybe 12 and 12 is 24, right?
That's right.
Right. So this is this is the target, and you get to shoot several, but this was the last one, the main one. But this is what they can teach you to do in one night. Now, I do need to go shoot some more, and I will, but that teaches your stance. Oh, that teaches your stance, your sight, and everything. And all of the ladies, their target was spot on. It was right in the area where it needed to be to stop someone from doing something that you might not want to be done.
And that's the reason we use the targets with the anatomy on them, so that you see the heart, the lungs, the spine, because that's something that a lot of ladies have got to come to grips with to begin with. If you're carrying a gun and you're not prepared to use it to protect yourself, then it's going to be taken away and used against you. You've got to be prepared to do what you have to do to protect yourself.
Well, I feel a lot better. I feel like I could handle it if I needed to right now, even just the 2 classes that I had. I really do. I feel like I would be efficient and I could protect myself, and that's the main thing.
And that's what we're here for. We're here to train and make people better shooters.
I like that. I'm going to be a better shooter. All right, y'all. We'll be posting this information on there. Look in the description. Check out their Facebook page. If you have any questions, feel free to inbox. I'm going to get this right. Action Firearms, or if you want to talk to them personally, call me and I'll get you connected, because they can answer your questions. But the main thing is get in a class. Take one of these classes. Get educated on what you need to do. So y'all, we could not do these vlogs, and we thank y'all for watching. We cannot do these vlogs without our sponsors. Kim Goodson, Crye-Leike Realtors. She's also our broker. I think she got top producer for 7 months last year, which is awesome. She's my personal realtor. I absolutely love her. She's amazing. Village Boutique, Madison, Mississippi. She's a gun carrier. She has her enhanced carry class, and so when I talked to her about this, she goes, "They'll definitely use me as a sponsor, because I believe in protecting yourself." Dana is on Main Street in Madison. They have some beautiful things, unique things that most people don't have. And BMARKETED, for any of your promotional items is bought. If you know Balt Benavides, the experience working with him is just worth going to him to order some things. Plus his prices are great and he can hook you up with anything. So y'all, thank y'all for watching our vlog today, and we'll see you around the town.